When I was a little boy of about 9 years old, I think I heard a couple of records on the radio just being slotted in different variety programs that were by blues musicians from America. One was quite popular actually in England. It was called Whooping and Hollering by Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee. I don't know why, I was immensely attracted to the sound, I was immensely attracted to the spirit of the music, and I decided to kind of examine it. I became a blues collector, buying export blues records at export shops, and I got finally into people like Muddy Waters and Robert Johnson, and that's really where I got all my influences from to begin with. I was probably one of about 4 or 5 people in England, I guess, that at the time that were interested in that particular kind of music. There was no one else interested in the kind of thing I was interested in. It was a very strange, unique phenomenon. It was quite lonely, but I was dedicated to it. I loved that music, and I wanted to play it. I came from a very poor country background, and I was kind of maybe like a white counterpoint in the English South, except there wasn't a racial situation at all. But it was. I could imagine it'd be quite similar to somewhere in Mississippi. I don't know, maybe not, but I tend to identify with it in that way. And I kind of dreamt of myself being this lonesome blues singer, at a very early age. Sonny Boy Williamson. Sonny Boy had just done a tour with a country blues festival through Europe, and he decided that he would like to stay in England and make some money, because it was possible then for blues performers like himself to go through Europe and make an incredible amount of money, which is more than they could dream of making in America. I was already in a professional band called the Yardbirds when I was around 18 years old. The Yardbirds were somehow linked up with him through the management people to do a tour of England. Musically, he was so inspiring that it was the first taste I had of the real thing.
If you don't help me, darling, I'll have to find myself somebody else.
John Mayer got in touch with me and asked me if I'd join his band. I really enjoyed working with John, and I now kind of regret that I left the band so early, because we'd only made one record, really, which later on seemed to become a classic, and I think it's a classic record. It would have been nice to have furthered it a bit more, and I know he'll agree with me with that, but I guess I was young and impetuous, and I wanted to go my own way. I found my feet so fast with John's band that it seemed like the world was my oyster. With Cream, the first gig we ever played at a big jazz festival in England, we ran out of material after about an hour, and the crowd wanted more, and they weren't going to give up, and so we literally had to go and jam, and we found that became the most popular part of our act, was when we didn't have anything set to play, and we would just play off the top of our heads, and it worked.
In a white room with black curtains near the station, black roof country, no gold pavements, tired starlings, silver horses ran down moonbeams in your dark eyes. Dawnlight smile on you, leaving my contentment.
During the time that I was with Cream, I was constantly being urged by Jack to kind of throw off all of my inhibitions that I'd spent years honing with the Blues Breakers. He came in from another area altogether, and he was one of the first musicians that was a rebel, musical rebel. He came from a jazz background. But he was like one of the first fusion players I'd ever met who was willing to cross jazz into blues and rock and roll all at the same time. He didn't see that there was a musical boundary. He was deeply into classical music, and modern classical music at that. I was really the last one to be able to let go of the things that I'd been using to hold me down up until then.
Hey, if you detect some country blues picking in the song you're about to hear, you're right. Played by one of the finest musical groups in the world. Welcome Bobby Whitlock, Jim Gordon, Carl Radle, and Eric Clapton. Derek and the Dominos.
This badge over me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on.
I don't really think of my guitar playing or my voice as being strong enough, although a lot of people think my guitar playing could be, but I don't think either one of those things is strong enough to just kind of go on its own.
It's late in the evening. She's wondering what clothes to wear. She'll put on her makeup and brushes her long blonde hair. And then she'll ask me, do I look alright? And I'll say yes, you look wonderful tonight.
I've always sung, you know, ever since I was a kid. I sing along with records, sing in the, you know, just when I'm kind of moving around, I'm singing in my head and singing out loud too. But it wasn't until I heard myself on tape that I realized how difficult it was to be a proficient singer. That is to say, just basically sing in tune. Then I started to meet people since I've got perfect pitch, and they were born with that. And I realized that there are people who have the gift and others who don't. I don't consider myself to have the gift, and so I have to work extra hard at it. That's the problem with singing for me, is that it's really an uphill climb all the time.
I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby. If I could change the world, baby, if I could change the world.
I like to think of my guitar, my love for guitar playing, as being dedicated. But it's not far removed from being obsessive. I mean, there's a fine line between those two words. I think I'm really a band leader more than anything now. I get my biggest kick from playing with top caliber musicians and really putting a band sound together.
If I saw you in heaven, I must be strong.